Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to the Hairy Bash quarterfinals number 2. It is going to be Mr. King Kong down the bottom left side of the map versus Mr. Arthur up the top right hand side of the map. And basically game 2 in a best of 3. Everything's best of 3 except for the grand finals, which are a best of 5. And Arthur, man, doing a really great job last time. I think he had a bit of help with his unit composition, because I think in that particular matchup, maybe Protoss have a natural sort of lead. So I'll tell you what happened anyways. Mass Air, Arthur got Void Rays and Phoenix, King Kong got Corruptors and Mutas. And I think the Void Rays are just a little bit OP. Corruptors are of course cheaper, but even with the cheapness, I think the Void Rays are a little bit OP, man. They just seem to own everything in sight. So yeah, Arthur did take out a victory there. Had some Colossus as well. King Kong had some Lings. They had miscellaneous units, but it's mainly just those two air units, two types of air units from each player, and just was absolutely epic air battles going on between them. But Arthur did come out with the victory eventually. And yeah, now we're into game number 2. So Arthur, if he takes a victory here, we'll move into the semi-finals to go off against Petrify. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that, and vice versa. I mean, if King Kong wins this, then we will go to an ace match to see if King Kong can make it up against Petrify in the semi-finals. So I'll tell you what though, personally, I hope Arthur wins, because he's actually the only Protoss player in the quarterfinals. There were probably a few others, but I think they got knocked out. After this, we've got 2 more Zerg players and 2 more Terrans. So we've got Petraeus and Akira, otherwise known as Sol, who are both Zerg players. And we've also got Hart and Iaguz. I don't know, it's I-A-G-U-Z. I got no idea how to pronounce that. But we actually, it's interesting because I haven't actually looked at the replays, but we may not even be casting that guy, because yeah, I haven't got, that's the quarterfinal match that I didn't get. So it's Akira, aka Sol. So just call him Sol, because I think that's what he was previous tournaments. Yeah, so it's going to be Sol versus Iaguz. There we go. That sounds okay. So I'll call him Iaguz. And yeah, I never got the replay from him, so very unfortunate. We'll tell you guys. All right, so Iaguz did beat Sol in that quarterfinal. I believe it was 2-0, and yes, I'm sure it was an exciting match, but unfortunately we can't see it because they didn't give me the replays. So I can only cast if they give me the replays, and Iaguz never did, so he hasn't responded to my messages or anything like that. Bit unfortunate, but what can you do about that? So anyway, Mr. Arthur going off against Mr. King Kong. And we've got a bunch of Lings coming out nice and early. Not too much else going on. Arthur's been producing a little bit of Stalkers and stuff like that. And 1 Stalker is apparently enough to scare away 3 Lings, which I'm not surprised about. But there they go. They're actually going to be chasing it now. Gateway's coming out, blocking it off, and going to be denying the scout in there. And the Lings barely get away. Well, one of them sort of pretty well gets away. It's always easy to run away when you're the fastest Ling in the pack. The slow ones, yeah, they definitely do get left behind. So there we go. Arthur looks like he's using exactly the same tactic he did last game, which is early Phoenix production with a smattering of ground units just to make up the numbers, but definitely is going to be putting out the Phoenix nice and early. King Kong getting a nice early Roach Warren, so I don't think he got it this early before. I think he was sort of getting it a little bit later than hoping to go into Mutiling, but I would not be surprised if we see King Kong go for a much heavier Roach army in this sort of game, and follow it up with maybe Hydra production, because yeah, the Phoenix did kind of own him quite a bit last game, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind having a bunch more Hydras in this game to sort of help him out. So he's getting the lair out. I would not be surprised at all to see a Hydraless Den coming straight out of that thing. Oh, here we go. Is Arthur going to get any Zealots out of here? Looks like he's going to get... Oh, yes, he is going to get 4 of the damn things. And the Ling's getting owned so badly. If they can sort of do a run around, they can maybe take out this pylon. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit touch and go. Definitely wants to take out that pylon ASAP, because that's just going to be units warping in all over the place. He's not really worried about the zealots too much, but because he's getting roaches out, but oh, with the phoenix on the map as well, it's going to be dicey, and we need some roaches right here ASAP. Where are the roaches? 2 of them are coming, 2 of them not really that much. Phoenix lifting up one, that's not good. The zealots are going nuts on the queens, lifting up the other queen. Zealots are going beautifully nuts over here. Roaches starting to come in. The Hydralisk Den almost finished. We got that out ASAP. And the workers are going to have to run for it. I don't see that they can really do much here. And the zealots just streaming in. So all it would have taken was another couple of lings to finish this pylon off, going around the backside. But here we go, roaches coming out. And I don't know if they can even take care of this problem anymore. I think there may be just too many stuff here. The Phoenix are going to go nuts, lifting up the roaches. Needs to produce some Hydras ASAP, but he's mining on 2 less gas than he was previously. And that is not going to help his macro situation right here. So here he goes, the Queen's being lifted up, trying to do something here. And meanwhile, the roaches are doing a pretty good job, taking out all these guys. The roaches just going nuts against the pylon. Are going to be able to take that down very, very, very quickly, and then he's just got to deal with the Phoenix. So that's going to be tough, but at least the zealot harassment is done for now, because there's no more pylons around here. There's no more probes or anything like that to build them. We do have a bunch of Hydras coming out. The Hydras should be good in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, the roaches can't burrow anything to hide from the Phoenix, but we do have a Spore Crawler landing down there. Should be able to provide some sort of protection, and of course cannot be destroyed by anything. So there we go, Mothership Core starting to get attacked. Queen manages to destroy the Mothership Core, and the Hydras are out on the field. The Phoenix finally going to be backing off. Meanwhile, these 5 roaches have come in. They are going to be facing 1 cannon there, but the cannon is not going to last long against the roaches. But here we go, the Void Ray coming in, and the roaches unable to do anything against a Void Ray, really. I mean, it is just such a good unit at owning everything. And Arthur going a lot for the stuff that he did last time. So he did go for Colossus as well as the air units. So starting to get some Void Rays, maybe. We'll see if he can actually get some Void Rays out here. I'm not sure. My memory's starting to go bad. Are Void Rays 150 gas or 250 gas? I thought they were 150 gas, but I may be wrong. They may be 250 gas. We'll have to have a look at the next one he builds. I want to keep an eye on this gas meter right here to see how much it actually costs to build a Void Ray. So there we go. Let's keep an eye on that. Oh, the Hydras. Oh, very, very nice. So it's definitely 200 gas to do a Colossus. I'm not in any doubt about that. But for a Void Ray, I'm in a little bit of doubt. So here we go. Phoenix running around. And Arthur actually may be in trouble right here. He's got a fairly large army. It is going to be Ling Hydra, which is kind of good against Protoss players. Yeah, we'll see how good it goes. See how good it goes. I'm thinking maybe 250 gas is for the carriers right now, and then 150 for the Void Rays. I think that's right. So anyway, here we go. Hydra's going in. The Colossus doing okay. These force fields here really, really doing a good job of keeping KingkOng away from where he wants to be. And now a bunch of Zealots come in. Do they have Zealot links? No, but they're still going to be pretty good. And the Hydra's getting out of there, so definitely needs some support. Corruptors are coming out. But then again, he built Corruptors last game, and we know how that turned out. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Oh man, Void Ray. Build a Void Ray. I want you to build a Void Ray so badly right now. It just has to be done. Just has to be done. There's Phoenix still just flying around, doing what they can, doing for a bit of a scout, all that sort of stuff. Spore Crawler's coming out, blah, 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 blah. We may have to go back at the end of this game to when he built the Void Ray and see how much gas it costs. Because I really just have no idea. No Spore Crawler here, I just noticed that. No Spore Crawler, but the Phoenix haven't realized they can lift the Queen up and just go nuts, but no, they haven't realized it yet, so very unfortunate. There we go, finally lifting the Queen up, but there is another Queen coming back. One Phoenix about to die quite horribly, and there we go. That was actually the Phoenix that was lifting the Queen up, so quite good there, and the Hydra's just coming on back. Phoenix going to have to get out of there, so much for the Phoenix right now. He hasn't built any of them for quite a while. And here we go. Muta's starting to come out. Suddenly, Phoenix are going to be a very, very good idea. Now we've seen the Muta army come out. And here we go. Arthur is looking okay. He's got a couple of Stalkers and a bunch of Sentries. So his damage potential against Mutas is not horrendous. And he's building more Stalkers there. So that's definitely going to be bad news. The Muta's going to have to get out of there. And KingkOng may be wishing that he got Corruptors now instead of Mutas. But we will see. The Hydras are going to have to come in here. But Hydra's such a terrible unit to throw against this many Colossus. And Arthur looking so strong suddenly in this game with this beautiful army composition. KingkOng just got the Mutas, thought it would be a good idea, turns out not. The Stalker's doing a fantastic job against them, and Arthur just pumping out Stalkers so easily here. Very, very easily. So I got to think KingkOng going for the Mutas, should have anticipated a large amount of Stalkers coming out, and yeah, just didn't really work out for him. But then again, I mean, going for Corruptors is what he did last game, and that didn't work out either. So, I don't know. I don't know what the right approach this game would have been. I mean, I don't know. I really, really don't. Mass Roach Hydra still would have got owned by all those Colossus. Mass Roach Hydra with Corruptor support would have been probably the standard option in this situation. Mass Roach Hydra with Corruptor support, very, very standard. Might have got the job done, but it would have been over a longer term, and it was dependent on the income, which we didn't actually look at, man. Arthur with 68 over 51, I can understand then why KingkOng was not looking to go for that long-term sort of approach. But anyway, regardless, can we click on a Stargate here and see what it actually costs to produce that stuff? No, apparently not. I'll find out at some other point, because we will, of course, be seeing Arthur in the semi-finals against Petrify. It's gonna be awesome. Unfortunate not to see KingkOng go any further, but I mean, that's what happens when you go against a player who's right up there. I mean, it's one of you has to drop down. So there we go. Arthur, Protoss player, making it into the semi-finals. So we're not going to have a repeat of Hairy Bash number 2, where it was all Zerg in the semi-finals. We do have a Protoss player, and we've got the potential for a couple of Terran players to make it. Although Hart, who is a Terran player, is facing off against Betrayer. So he's looking at some very, very long odds to make it into the semi-finals. But you know what? I've never actually cast Hart before. He's signed up a couple of times, but I don't think he's ever made it to the quarterfinals. So it's going to be interesting to see how good he is. I mean, Betrayer is the best so far, but he's the best we've cast so far. And we haven't cast Hart yet. So definitely could be something. But anyway, we'll get on to that game coming up tomorrow. It's going to be Petraeus versus Hart, Zerg versus Terran, and it's going to be awesome to see. So I'll catch you guys then. It's been Hairy Muppet. Hope you enjoyed this game.